Howdy y'all, welcome back to Camp Shack Productions. Today we are up in the Uinta Mountains, and as you can see, I am fighting black flies. They are all over the place. So I'm here today to talk about this Timber Ridge 2-person cot tent, and I am wondering if this can actually take the place of a rooftop tent. There might be some real benefits to this. First one being the price and availability, but I ordered this from Costco. Again, it's the Timber Ridge 2-person cot tent. So this whole thing folds out into a cot. So let's find a place around camp here where we can set this thing up, and I'll actually pull it out of this box and we'll look at it there as well. So, oh, the flies are gonna kill me. Hopefully the wind keeps up to keep them away. All right, well, flies is not. Let's dive into this thing and get it set up. So hopefully we have a bug rest. All right, so there appears to be a couple different zippers. Let's see, once you get it out, you can expand it. All right, so we have our instructions. This looks like it's some sort of gear net for the inside of the tent. All right, we've got our tent poles. We've got our tent stakes. This must be the rain fly. And this is gonna be our tent. All right. Let's get that out of the way. It's kind of heavy. All right. All right, well, now I gotta find it somewhat level. All right, feels pretty level-ish. Let's see what we got. All right, poles feel a little chintzy. That's okay. Again, when I tell y'all how much this thing costs, you're gonna be amazed. But before I do that, I should get this thing up. Oh, the flies, they're killing me. There are so many flies. Ah, got it. Oh, please. Ah! All right, this is about ready to make me insane. Okay, so I just found out that on the other end here, there are some pull sleeves that you have to go through doesn't just connect in the side. You got to go through the sleeve. So, I mean, come on. This is crazy. Yeah, so sits up off the ground. It's got the rain fly. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to run the poles through this little loop. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll get comfy, we'll get inside, and we'll have a step two. But Costco, come on, cot tent. That's awesome. How are we gonna do this? Now we get in. Only a few flies made it in. All right, I can already tell you there is a giant bar right in the middle of this thing that is not comfortable, but yeah, there's a huge bar right in the middle that is not comfortable. So you have to definitely pick a side and sleep on it. All right, y'all. So cheers. Let's have a nice beer and try to forget about these bugs. But I am telling you, if these bugs don't go away, I am probably going to just get in my car. I'm an hour and 25 minutes away from home, and it's not worth it. But cheers. We're going to see. I'm going to sit here for a little while, have this beer, see if it mellows out, see if I can actually sit and relax without being miserable. So the whole reason I came up here, the Costco two-person cot tent. It is actually very, very easy to set up. It only took me a few minutes. And again, first time I had to try and figure out what to do with the poles. I set up the rain fly. It goes on pretty straightforward. The one thing that I can tell you though is that it's designed to have two people, and it is basically you each get a side, and then right in the middle is this massive bar. So you can't sit in there. It's not a hangout tent, that's for sure. It would be comfortable to sleep in, but definitely if it got rainy or gnarly and you needed to tent out, it would not be comfortable. So roof tent, you have the advantage there. You can easily climb into a roof tent and get comfortable. I really wanted to see if this thing would take the place of a roof tent. It's $79 on Costco online. They'll ship it to you. So I think with my state taxes and everything, it was like $86 for that tent. I mean, and you know, it doesn't feel super cheap. It doesn't feel super cheesy. You know how sometimes you get the fabric and you pull it out and it's like kind of, I don't know, vinyl-y cheap fabric stuff that you can just feel everything going wrong with. It doesn't. It feels like a normal kind of ripstop tent. The fly goes on super easy. Ow, man, these guys are actually going at me now. That thing just bit into my hand and I felt it. So, you know, it's easy peasy. I'm so sorry, y'all. I can't even concentrate. I'm just getting bombarded by these things. They're finding any place on me to eat. So I'm going to sip this beer and see if they go away, and we'll get back to this. When I say sip this beer, I mean like I'm gonna go walk around and not be in a stationary place. That little bastard. Yeah, that just bit me. Yeah. All right. So this is what I've decided to try to do to keep some of these off of me is just go on full bug net because I don't know how else to do it. It's driving me crazy. So let's talk a little bit about this thing. It, again, was super simple to set up. The rain fly is easy. You tie it to some center poles. Um, it's definitely spacious. Like I said, though, right in the middle of this thing, there is a gigantic bar that just hits you. So you have one side and then the other. So it would not be very comfortable to hang out and just like play cards or something in, because for somebody like me, I'm kind of bigger and I take up a lot more space, and I can't even sit cross-legged in this thing because that bar is right there. So we'd have to like lay down. I don't know. Um, for $79, I don't know if you can really beat it though. I mean, I could buy 12 of those. I could have a new one of those every year for 12 years, and it wouldn't cost what some of the cheapest rooftop tents on Amazon cost, which, I averaged at about $1,000. The cheapest that I saw it on Prime days was about $795. So that thing comes in at $79. That's much, much, much cheaper. And I have a buddy that's got a rooftop tent and it rattles a bunch. It also creates a lot of top weight for you. You definitely have to know what you're rated for. You have to be able to climb up and down it. You have to know what your roof rack can handle. And there's an on-road and off-road roof rack weight. So there's just all these factors. Not only that, but if you have kids and you have that and one of them falls out of it, it's going to be about a foot fall, 12, 16 inches max. It won't be the top of your vehicle, which on mine is, over 6 feet. So a much, much simpler thing. If you have a dog, you can lift the dog in. It can jump in and out easily. You don't have to try to lift the dog in. You don't have to try to get a ladder. So, there might be some benefits. And I can move it around, you know. I can take advantage of the shade, where sometimes with your rooftop in your car, you can't always do that. You kind of have to park where you can go. So score for that. Stupid metal bar. I wonder if I can put like a memory foam mattress in that thing, cut it to the size, and take away that bar. All right, I'm gonna sit down, have a little more step two, and see if I can cover myself with this net inside my chair. I think, there's some definite benefits. Your average rooftop tent is going to weigh over 100 pounds. That thing weighs about 46 something. So I'm going to just call it 47 pounds. It says that it is 50 inches wide, 80 inches long, and 49 inches tall. So, no, excuse me, it's 50 inches tall, 49 inches wide, and 80 inches long once it folds out. And I can tell you, I'm 6 foot and I could lay down in there absolutely fine. I think that if you're 6'2" or over, you're probably going to have a problem inside of that tent. It's definitely much smaller than you would think inside of there. And we'll go get in there here in a minute and I'll show you what I mean. But it really, it's not going to be as big as a rooftop tent. And again, with that bar being in the way, you're going to lose a lot of space. Rooftop tent, you could easily sit up on top of it, play games, have your storm windows. There are definitely some huge advantages that the rooftop tent has. And that is one that it goes everywhere your vehicle goes. You don't have to worry about forgetting it. You don't have to worry about finding a flat spot to set it up. You do have to level out your car, but that can be pretty easy with a couple simple little tricks. But with this thing, you definitely have to find a level spot, but you also have to find pretty much a level spot with most tents, right? So rooftop tent definitely is going to give you more hangout. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be more comfortable. And if you're over 6'2", get a bigger tent, and there's all kinds of options. But what I like about this is that it keeps you off the ground. It kind of gives you that rooftop feeling by just being up off the ground a little bit. So, all right, I'm going to finish this beer and then we'll go climb in there and take a look. I can only imagine how many mosquitoes are inside of that tent. All right, it's not horrible inside of here. Is the tent. As you can see, the zippers are already looking like they're gonna fail. Uh, I've got probably 20 mosquitoes in here. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about this thing. Headroom, outstanding. And it does have some guide wires which would pull it out a little bit more. But overall, it really does. Right now I am sitting on that bar that I was talking about. And if you're not, you're kind of off balance, I gotta say. It's not quite as tight. Sorry, another mosquito. Quite as tight as I would like it to be. But it is fairly comfortable. Again, you've got a decent amount of room, you know, no gear rack or any kind of place to hang your headlamp, which is a little unfortunate, but for 79 bucks, you get what you get. Man, it really is comfortable though. Maybe I should just try to tough it out and spend the night. And can you see the bar? I mean, it's substantial. You would definitely feel it. Oh, is there another one alive over there? Look at all those bodies. Let the bodies hit the floor. Bodies hit the floor. All right. Check in with you guys in a little while. See what I'm going to end up doing here. Go out and drink another beer, maybe. God. I decided to fight off the bugs. It got better once the sun started to set and the temperatures dropped. I am now in the tent and just sitting here because of this pole. My arms, my legs are definitely banging against the side here. So, if you could find a way to mitigate this pole. It's about 9:30. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna crash. My pillow is calling my name, and I figure let's give this thing a true shot and see how it does. So I will check in with y'all in the morning. My little my little comfy spot. All right. See you guys in the morning. Hopefully it doesn't rain. All right, y'all. Good morning. Got cold enough that the bugs went away last night, and I slept in the cot tent. So, a couple things I want to clear up really quick. This thing is 80 inches long. It is 50 inches wide, and from where you lay to the roof is 47 inches tall. So, about the standard of a normal tent. Again, though, you lose a bunch of space in the middle of this thing with that bar. Overall, though, I slept super comfortably. Just like most cots or hammocks, the air blows underneath this thing, and it kept me nice and cool, which also means that probably in the wintertime, if you're going to use this, you'd need something underneath you. And I am definitely not saying this is not a four-season tent, which is another bonus for those of you that have rooftop tents. Most rooftop tents, even the ones that are in the $1,000 range, are four-season, and they are designed to be able to handle all kinds of weather. This thing, 79 bucks. And I slept great. I slept probably better than I would most of the time if I was on the ground. I'm a side sleeper. My hips dig in. This thing was super duper comfortable last night. I moved around a little bit, but not much at all. My coffee's finally cooled off enough to drink too. Oh, so I think overall, this thing is definitely worth it. I mean, again, as long as you realize you're getting a $79 tent. But I can tell you this thing is definitely more comfortable than a couple of the $100, $300 tents that I own. And it feels about that same quality, you know. I would definitely pick this up before I went and got something from Walmart, or, you know, even if you're looking in that under $200 range, check this thing out because it's really cool. Do I think it'll take the place of a rooftop tent? No. For me, yes. You know, I can usually just sleep in the back of my Xterra. I have a cab that closes, can keep me totally dry and warm, and I don't have to worry about it. If I didn't though, and I wanted something that was going to go for a season and be around all the time, I probably would pick up a little bit more expensive tent. But if you're looking for a really comfortable family tent, if you're looking for a great tent to throw out for the kids, I mean, this thing, your kids would love this thing. It's super duper comfortable. If you're over 6 feet tall, be wary. I definitely was touching. So, can it take the place of a rooftop tent? Probably not if you have those specific needs. Is it a good tent? Yes. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, knowing what you're getting into, don't take this thing out in the middle of a torrential downpour, and don't think that it's going to hold up in mega strong winds. It did rain on us a little bit last night, and I stayed dry, but you know, not even enough to get the ground wet. So, wasn't a true test. I will let you guys know if I have any issues with this thing. I'm going to pack up before the bugs get out, and I'm going to get home, and I've got some photos to edit. So y'all, thank you so much for being here. Cheers if you made it this far in the video. If you're feeling super generous, please go down, hit that like button. And if you really want to help support the channel, please subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you all back in the next video. All right, be well, my friends. Definitely could see this working. Definitely. Oh, it seems so bright. So, I moved this. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. But I want you to see all the flies. So much so that I'm about ready to bounce out of here, because it's going to be miserable if these flies stick around. Let their carcasses be known to their kinfolk. Can you see all my carcasses? I'm a straight up killer.